Good morning, student, and welcome for history lecture. Okay, so we have started with the 10th lesson, which is Cold War. Already, we have done with three parts of this lesson. The lesson is little bit lengthy. In the first part, we have discussed about background, the definition of Cold War, its impact on nation. Okay, afterwards, we discuss about the treaties under the Cold War. Then in third lecture also we discuss some more treaties and organization in the period of Cold War. Okay, now we are going to move towards our next point, and that is again treaties which happened in the Cold War period. Okay, so in the last lecture we had discussed about some of the organization like CENTO, CETO, ANZUS, War Pact, SAW, and Sino Soviet Pact. Okay, so now here we have seen that all these countries, some countries were there who were in the favor of communism, and some countries were there in the favor of capitalist. Capitalist means again USA, and communism means USSR. So Soviet Russia wanted to spread communism all over the world, and at the same time America wanted to spread capitalists. They wanted to they wanted to stop spread of communism, and that's why they made treaty. They just wish to come nations together to help them, and that's why so many organizations they establish. Okay, now here one question arise in our mind, that suppose if I don't want to favor to communism as well as capitalist, then what? Okay, so some countries where they are like India, that who don't want to support communism as well as they don't want to support capitalist, means they don't want to enter in this matter. They don't want to support USSR as well as USA. So what about this? So that point today we will discuss, and that is non-alignment movement. So this movement is called as non-alignment movement, means मुझे यहाँ पे भी नहीं जाना, मुझे यहाँ पे भी नहीं जाना, मुझे मेरा खुद का अकेला रहकर मुझे खुद के पैरों पर जो है आई वॉन्ट टू बिकम सेल्फ इंडिपेंडेंट. आई डोंट वॉन्ट टू टेक हेल्प ऑफ अदर. आई डोंट वॉन्ट टू इन्वॉल्व इन ऑल दिस मैटर. मुझे इस कोई चीज़ में इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है और मुझे इसमें इन्वॉल्व ही नहीं होना है, बिकॉज I have seen that what was happened in the First World War and Second World War. I lost my people, I lost my economy of my country, and that's why I don't want to become the part of this alignment. I don't want to become the part of their military, right? So this movement is known as non-alignment policy, or NAM, non-alignment movement. Especially the India was there in this movement. What is non-alignment movement? Non-aligned movement is an intergovernmental organization of state considering themselves not aligned formally with or against any major power. So we are not in the favor of any country, and we are not aligned formally with any country. So after the Second World War, without joining the group of USSR or USS, India adopted the policy of development by its own efforts, to take efforts by own to become independent, to shape its own strategies leading towards peace. And this policy is known as NAM, non-alignment movement. So here 6 members were there in this policy. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru from India, then Burma's PM, Indonesia's PM Sukarno, as well as Gamal Abdel Nasser from Egypt, Marshal Tito from Yugoslavia. All these leaders, they were the architects of this concept of NAM. So in detail we are going to talk about the non-aligned nation. The non-alignment movement was formed during the Cold War, largely on the initiative then Yugoslavia President Josip Broz Tito. He was the founder for this organization, and some state they did not seek formally align themselves with either the US or USSR Union Soviet, but sought to remain independent or neutral. They wanted to become neutral. They don't want to enter in any group from the communism or the capitalist country. The basic concept for the group originated in 1955 during discussion that took place at the Asia Africa Bandung Conference, which was held in Indonesia. So subsequently, the preparatory meeting for the first NAM Summit Conference, which was held in Cairo, Egypt, from 5 to 12 June 1961. So some of the objectives were there of this organization. At this meeting the participants they discuss some of the objective for this organization, and those objectives are like recognition of all the equality of all races of religion. All races are same. There will be no discrimination among the races. The country should have adopted an independent policy. If the country they don't want to adopt any policy, communism or capitalist, so they can create their own existence, and based on the coexistence of state with the different political and social system, and on non-alignment or should be showing a trend in favor of such a policy. The country concerned should be consisting supporting the movements for nation independence. If the country want to become independent, so that time there will be no force for the alignment if they don't want to join any group. The country should not be a member of multilateral military alliance concluded in the context of great power conflicts. What is great power conflicts? That was the conflict between USSR and America. So if the country don't want to adopt policy of any country, if they don't want to enter any group, so that time they are free. They have that freedom that they could establish their own existence. They can have their independence, and they are not going to enter in any military alliance. If a country has a bilateral military agreement with a great power or is a member of the Regional Defense Pact, the agreement or the pact should not be one deliberately concluded in the context of great power conflicts. So here the whole freedom it is given to that country, and it is not necessary that country should accept one of these two policy that where they want to enter, either in communism or for the capitalist. Okay, so India adopted this policy. They wanted to become independent. They don't want to enter any of this group. So there was a promotion of dialogue among the people and the civilization. So here the more importance it is given for the civilization, for people's freedom. So here to enhance the role of civil society and NGOs regional and international role to respond the challenges of the globalization, and what problems faced by country, it is more necessary to talk on that and to provide some solution instead of fighting within, instead of conflict. This freedom it was given to these countries who were there in non-alignment movement. So what are the challenges are there on the global level? So other countries are going to help the country to solve that problem, to solve that challenges. So here we can say that some nations were there, they adopted this policy because they want their independent, they want to create their own existence, and based on the concept of the peaceful coexistence, they were ready to support each other in their problem, in the challenges, and they does not want to involve in the military power or bilateral treaties, and this is known as the non-aligned nation. Okay, so when the first conference it was held of non-alignment nation in 1961, it was called as Belgrade. It was the first conference which was first summit of the non-aligned movement. 25 countries were present for this conference, and it was concluded with the declaration containing 27 columns. So some of the issues were discussed in this conference were like stop aggression in Asia. Nobody is going to aggress in Asia. Nobody is going to enter in Asia. Nobody is going to spread capitalist or communism in Asia. They have their freedom, Asia, Africa, as well as in South America. Make Algeria, they want that Algeria and Angola, these two countries should be free from the slavery. Then stop the intervention in Congo, policy of the racism in South Africa, stop, give natural rights to Arabs in Palestine, withdraw French army from Tunisia. All these issues were discussed in first conference of NAM, non-aligned movement. Next conference of this movement, it was held in 1964 at Cairo, which is in Egypt. That time our Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri, he attended this conference. This conference, the thrust of the conference was on preparing global awareness against forming groups of nations based on military concern and establishment of military bases in foreign countries. So here also the people they discuss, means the leaders who were there, who were present in this conference, they discussed that instead of conflict, instead of war, we could discuss problems on global level. What problems people they are facing on a global level, we could support to each other. Instead establishing military power, instead just improving or gaining military power to becoming more and more powerful, these things we can do. We can just maintain peace all over the world. And the third conference, it was held in 1970 September. It was decided that non-alignment countries strengthen their unity, continue the policy of opposing military treaties. The policy of opposing this treaty insists on equal status in international relations and attempt to enhance disarmament. So when the third conference it was held, that time it was decided that all the countries who were the part of NAM, they are going to be united and they are going to help each other. They will be try to keep peace within them, as well as they are not going to enter in any group of military power. They are going to be independent. Besides, it was also resolved to end colonialism and racism, and the main aim of this conference was that they want to just vanish, destroy colonialism from all over the world, as well as racism from the world. In the third conference, some points were discussed like that the countries they are going to support each other, they are going to cooperate each other by mutual understanding, and they are going to support United States. When the next conference which was held, that was the fourth conference in 1973 in Algeria, so that time some more demands were put forth, and those demands were like developing a new economical system, introduce new economical system to the world, and establishing a system of reporting international news. When the fifth conference of this moment it was held in 1976, so that time it was in Colombo, Sri Lanka. It was decided in this conference to try to create a new global economy by lessening the influence of the superpowers in the field. So in this conference they decided they are not going to pay attention towards the superpowers. They are not going to fear for them, but instead of that they will pay more attention for global economy. And next conference, which was held in 1979 in Cuba, 1983 at New Delhi. The Palestinian cause and the support for the independence struggle of southwestern Africa was supported in this conference in New Delhi. Then the next conference of non-aligned movement, it was held in New Delhi. That time India's Prime Minister was Indira Gandhi. So in her speech, she said that freedom, development, disarmament and peace, this is the goal, this is the motive of NAM. We have to give freedom to the country's people, then we have to maintain peace. There will be no ornaments, there will be no racing in ornaments, as well as there will be development of all the countries. The main goal of the non-aligned movement was progress in the development of member nations. So this was the main motive of NAM, to develop the countries who are the member of NAM. In the conference which was held in 1986 in Zimbabwe, a fund named Africa Fund was raised for providing necessary aid to neighboring nations of South Africa. The issues of Namibia, freedom and the racism of South Africa were discussed. We know that mostly we can see racism in South Africa. The people, they are discrimination, it is there on the basis of their racism. So this point, it was recently discussed in the conference of NAM. The people, they should not discriminate on their race, on their color, and whatever the fund raised in Zimbabwe, it was used for their neighboring country, for the re-establishment of their neighboring country. In the conference which was held in 1992 at Jakarta, Indonesia, a demand for more facilities in the field of commerce and trade, it was demanded for restructuring of United Nations. So all these points were discussed in NAM. So NAM, this is mainly organization which is for the countries who don't want to enter in any group of superpowers. They don't want to support, they don't want to enter in bilateral treaty, they don't want to enter in military army, but they want to become independent, they want to create their own power, they want to build their nation. Okay, so in short we can say that NAM for those countries who wanted to maintain peace, they want to support each other, and that's why the NAM is there, and India is the part of NAM. Okay, one more time I want to sum up the points of NAM, because this is the important organization. India is part of this organization. So the main objective of NAM beginning was to keep away the newly independent countries of Asia and Africa from the superpower rivalry, because there was a conflict between this superpower USSR and USA. So some of the countries, they don't want to become the part of this power, to protect and to preserve their newly acquired independence. So that is the main motive. The other important objective of this organization is like to eliminate all those causes which could lead to war. So if we don't want war, we don't want to fight, so we eliminate, we try to remain away from this conflict, from this war which could lead to war, to protect freedom of the newborn independent countries of Asia and Africa from the colonial domination, because already the world, it was colonized by Europeans, and when these countries, they got freedom, so they were newborn independent countries, like newborn baby. So here they want support of each other, because they wanted to they wanted to become strong, but they don't want to take the support of this superpower, and that's why this was the aim of the NMA, to give them motivation, to give them support. Then next, it was to oppose the colonialism and imperialism and the radical discrimination, to advocate the sovereign equality of all the state, as well as next aim, it was to encourage friendly relation among countries, to advocate peaceful settlements of the international disputes. If there will be any problem in any within two countries or within three countries, so that time that can be solved by discussion. Okay, so there will be no conflict, there will be no war. So by discussing with the peaceful manner, they could solve their problem. To oppose the use of force of nuclear weapons, not to use nuclear weapons, not to use force, as well as to protect human rights and to protect the environment. All these are the aims and the objective of NAM. Okay, so today we are going to stop here, student. In today's lecture we talk about NAM, which is very important organization. Okay, so in the next lecture we are going to continue with the next moment, next organization. I'm going to provide you some link related to our today's topic. Watch that, try to understand. If you have any problem, you can ask me. Thank you and have a nice day.